Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Old Stories, The Breathing Mountain, a cipher system of the old gods of Appalachia. I am your storyteller for today. I am Jen. I go by she, her, and I'll be the world in a broad and short sense of everything. So let's introduce everybody. We'll start at the top of the order. Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Lex Wilson. My friends call me Alex, and so can you. I use he, him pronouns, as does the character I'm playing, Alice Dare Blake. His friends call him Dare. He is a brash protector who knows Jack.
And Mal.
Hi, I am Archangelic, aka Mal. I am going to be playing Teresa Shaw, the superstitious sage who cannot escape the darkness. My pronouns are she, her, and Teresa's are also she, her.
Next, Sir Heckalot.
Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot. I'm here, I'm on your screen, and I'm back with Beatrice, who is the neighborly explorer who does what needs doing. She uses she, her pronouns, and I use she, they pronouns.
Last but not least, Siliqui.
Hello, friends. My name is Siliqui Jaden, and I use they, them pronouns. You can find me most places online as Fat Sapphic Bro. I will be playing Jasper Joaquim Vicente, he, they pronouns, who is a hardy protector who defends what matters. Welcome back to our space here at Lantern Light Adventures. This is home to all of our TTRPG and related content on Twitch. All of our games are also uploaded to our Lantern Light Adventures YouTube channel. There's a link to our link tree in the chat that you can click. It'll take you to all of our various social media pages so you can follow us everywhere we are. If you want to keep up to date on everything we're doing, feel free to also join our Discord, which is linked in the chat. If you want to play with us or GM for us, fill out the TTRPG actual play interest form, which you can find linked in our link tree and in the chat. And once you fill out that form, I'll email you back with our TTRPG consent form, and then we can match you with games from there. Thanks for joining us today for the Old Stories, The Breathing Mountain, our horror-themed Old Gods of Appalachia actual play. We will be streaming this game most Wednesdays from 2 to 5 p.m. PST. Friendly reminder that this is a horror-themed game, so please care for yourselves as needed. As for where you can find us the rest of the week, on most Sundays from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. PST, we stream Era of the Dragons, our D&D 5e actual play. On most Mondays from 5 to 7 p.m. PST, Archangelic, our lovely producer Polly Geist, and myself have been streaming our playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. If you'd like to play with us as a guest, reach out to me anytime. Otherwise, feel free to come and hang out with us while we play. Most Tuesdays, 6 to 9 p.m. PST, we stream An Empty Dream, our Girl by Moonlight actual play. And we also record an audio cast after show. It's always hard to say for each of our games where we go over any necessary advancement steps and we do debrief from the game. You can listen to these for free on our Patreon at patreon.com/lanternlightadventures. All of these after shows will always be free, but we appreciate any contributions and support as it helps us continue to bring you awesome queer content. Just as a reminder, each month we take the last 7 days of the month off so that we can edit and prepare more content for y'all, as well as have a bit of a break to handle our day-to-day responsibilities. And finally, in support of a free Palestine, we will be financially supporting a family through the Pass the Hat project. More information for that will be shared once we're assigned our family. Until then, there's a donation link for Doctors Without Borders on our page that you can support in the meantime. Thanks so much.
Excuse me, and thank you very much. Now, to get stuck into it, so to say. Last time, you've kind of uncovered a bit of more about the secrets the town of Timber kind of holds within its grasp. Shuddering earthquake, a very disgruntled crossroads man, unraveling of magic, a gun going off, and something wearing Owen's face just right, and wears it so well. It kind of unfolds in front of all of your eyes. Well, particularly Teresa's eyes, as that hagstone has gifted you something terrible. And you seeing Owen's face staring back at you, the glassy, blank eyes. Blink. Withered gray skin, scarred face, handsome features. Just like your wedding day, if the fact he weren't dead. But, it is how it is. So with this thing wearing Owen's face, looking at you, you looking at it, for the lack of a better term. Your companions gathered around you. What do you do, Teresa?
Oh, it's just staring at me.
It's just staring at you.
It helped me now. It just helped this situation. It stopped what could have been a bad situation. So, Teresa, she doesn't fully believe that's actually Owen. And she'll just turn away from it. It's now just, she'll know it's there, but she's going to let it stay there. She's not going to confront it or acknowledge it. Not at this point.
Very good. You ignore it, but the presence is there. At least you know what it is, even if it's not your own. But it's there. It's very aware you know it's there, and you're very aware you know it's there. And things just keep unspooling. That shaking mountain kind of still pushing dust up in the air. Crossroads Man has left, or Applejack as he's been called now. So he doesn't get summoned, but in the quiet of the space and the knowledge that you gain that, yes, there are people who have done terrible things, have brought back their loved ones, brought back their dead loved ones. And there is an issue of 4 trees, stakes in the middle of town, with the words freedom scrawled across the plaque, waiting for their turns. 1 down, 4 to go. Now, there are some names, whether you remember these names or not, that's okay. But you do know that Garrett, Marcy, Yanis, Sarah, and Harris were involved in some way. How they're tied to these trees is still maybe a mystery to you, but those names are there for you to explore. You have your information, Beatrice, as you've stolen it out of the archives. Miss Jenny Brown doesn't know that yet, but she might figure it out sooner or later.
Nobody knows. It'll be fine. I
But
sneakily took it.
the past just keeps looming out of the darkness and right into your faces, begging to be addressed in some manner or form. And speaking of the past, dare that you poked a couple twins, particularly 2 young boys. Well, they're not so much young now. They're about 22 years of age. Got their dog. What did you name that dog?
I thought I got 2 dogs, didn't I?
You did.
I named them Clover and Cookie.
Clover and Cookie. All right.
Aw.
Is there a My Little
Clover.
Pony reference there? Maybe. Maybe there were some. Maybe there were some founders of Equestria that had similar names, but who knows? Who's to say? One can never tell where names come from. In fact, at the end of our last episode, it was thundering and lightning. So at some point, I want to go check on the dogs. If I know anything about dogs, they love lightning and thunder. And if,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
they-
100%.
if they
And
haven't hurt
fireworks,
themselves,
they
they
love
probably hurt
those.
my home. Yeah. So while I probably mess some shit up. So,
Yeah.
doesn't have to be right now, but at some point, I want to go check on them.
Of course, definitely. You gotta take care of the doggos. They're best boys and girls, what have you. You can determine their gender. It's up to you. But yes, Clover and Cookie, good dogs. They are, I would say, hound dogs. Probably blue ticks would be the most prevalent of the Kentucky breed at this time. really nice, cute little guys. Let's see. But thunder and lightning pouring in, doing all of its best to shake you all up. You do have the information of the Grey Ladies, don't forget. You have that in your pockets. Mimicry, mockery of the crone maiden mother. So just remember that in the back pocket as the storm kind of shakes your household, Teresa. So, what would you like to do now as the storm has kind of gripped timber in its wild grasp?
I feel like we're gonna have to go to that line.
Now, do you mean right now or
Looking up,
when it's maybe safer to do so?
maybe we need to rest up for the night.
All right.
Is there a landslide still happening?
No, the landslide is quick. It was as sudden as it started, it's as sudden as it stopped. But you did see it kind of slip off the side of the mountain. So that's a nice little curve to the mountain now.
Okay.
And you did piss off the crossroads man.
Yeah, definitely did that.
Yes, you did.
Yes, me specifically. I know.
You specifically.
The way that I tense up when we say it out of character. Like
Not too loud, he can hear you.
But if you want to gather information while you wait until the storm clears, you can go back to the archives. It is a bit on the darker side as the evening kind of rolls in, but you can do that if you wish. You can consolidate your information now, what you have. Think about a plan, do it tomorrow. Check on your dogs, Clover and Cookie, as they are good doggos and we love them. It's all up to you. Or confront and try and appease this eldritch god called the Crossroads Man that you shot and is very cranky. It's all up to you.
above the table, is anyone like hurt or anything? We're still good. So, okay.
I have one effort expended. I can't remember. It's more than just a rest that will.
It will take one rotation of 8 hours to completely heal up. So I think I said you had that 1 hour of rotation, so you should be back on par unless you have more than one, because you need several days to recover if you have more than that.
Got it. I can spend 2 weeks and all the names are gone. So the union organizer, the labor organizer, what's his name? Jonas, thank you.
Sweet boy Jonas.
So I wasn't able to find Jonas, although I didn't try to look for him after the company man.
Mm-hmm. You didn't look for him, but you did tell the boys to let you know if they run across him.
Yes,
to let you know.
Yes, and the bartender had basically given a funny look when I asked about him. I don't know if that means that I'm already too late. Like, that's metagaming there. I don't think that it registered with Dare. But before that, the company man, and I can't remember his name either.
McCavish.
McCavish, thank you.
Yes.
McCavish had basically insinuated or basically made text, not subtext, the idea that he was going to pin the murder on Jonas. So we might want to run interference on that. Maybe he shouldn't be staying at the inn, etc. But that's as far as I can think of as for things that might be time sensitive that we know about. We don't know what the what's his name's Applejack's timeline is on Wreck and Shit.
Oh, you have a number of things to pick from. What is of most interest to you?
Cookie and Clover.
Cookie and Clover.
That's the right answer. But also, I mean, I think we should consider, yeah, going down the Jonas quest line, as you will, if you will.
Mhm.
I
Of
think Dare
course.
might be playing a different game than the rest of you. I'm not really sure. I think he's got a new mission.
It's dogs now. Dogs
Yeah.
forever.
Kennel training is
It's
like a
just,
six
yeah,
week.
God
You
damn
it's
want to.
just, it's become Nintendogs. That's it. That's the game.
But yeah, you can definitely go down the route of Jonas. You know that he does stay at the inn. Um, where else he may go, you're not quite sure of, but you know he is a union man himself. Um, where that leads is up to you. It could be you asking around for questions, or you could just hope for the best and hope you run across him.
Like, I don't know, could we pop into like where specifically he's staying at the inn? Like, I don't know. It's like we've already tried asking the folks downstairs. Maybe we need to be a little bit more intrusive about it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's make sure that boy's.
All
Fine by
right.
me.
Cool, cool, cool. So, how you getting to the end in the middle of a thunderstorm?
Very carefully.
All right. Very carefully it is. Make me, all of you, a speed defense. As it's muddy, it's raining, it's lightning, and you are surrounded by trees.
That is a 15.
Okay.
Is that just a flat roll?
I think you
Yeah,
might be trained in it, so I don't know.
yeah, if you're trained in speed defense or speed ability, you would
Taking a look.
get a roll for that.
Now I have might defense, not speed.
Oh, I have speed. So what is if you're trained?
You just roll whatever the number is next to it. It should have the. Let me double check.
I have a 12.
I have
think.
12.
Or edge 1, is that? Hang on a second. I haven't needed to use this, have I? Oh, I just
So
clicked
just
it.
yeah, you just click that dice
Perfect.
next to you, and you should get that.
Yeah,
All
I just
right,
have
there. You
Rolled a
did
9.
good. All
I just have
right.
intellect and might defense, so it's a flat roll for me. So it's a
Yeah,
7.
just a flat roll. Not a
Yeah,
problem.
also 7 though, I do have endurance, which I'm not sure if it applies here or not. I'm just gonna pop it in the chat in case it does. Uh, but yeah, I mean, essentially it's just like a
It
zero.
would if the task was taxing. It's more about
Okay,
avoiding the collapse of trees.
makes
I,
sense.
I will turn on my blinking lamp, my cipher,
Uh-huh.
as we go, which will give me a warning to danger. I must roll for each use to see if it will function or malfunction. It is not a very sophisticated lamp.
No. All right. So roll for that.
You're getting a lot of false negatives or false positives. I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
A 5. Okay. I would consider that a failure.
but do I know it's a failure? That's the question with a malfunctioning device.
I think you get the sense, if you're all right for this, get the sense that it does fail only because there's a color indication of red for failure. How's that? Red for failure, green for success.
Sure.
All right. So you pull out your lamp, hoping to, alert your traveling troop of any possible danger. And you, being quite adept in your travel, are able to overcome most obstacles, you are able to avoid falling trees that have been pushed over by the storm. And you too, Teresa. And what did you roll, Jasper? One more time for me.
9.
A 9 for Jasper.
No, 7 for me.
A 7. 7 for Jasper. 6. Yeah.
If I get hit, it's because I was looking at my lamp like it's the weather app going, why does it say sunny? Why does it? This is not.
But you succeed there because you're looking at your lamp, and for whatever reason, and actually the tree that does fall kind of just skims over the top of your head. But I would say you, Beatrice, aren't as lucky. But you're fine, Jasper, as you've almost stopped from yourself from running into Dare. But you, Beatrice, aren't that lucky. You're just having a heck of a time in the storm. You don't really see the tree as you're kind of trudging through the mud, and it kind of right on top of you, and you get scratched up by the branches. Luckily, you're avoiding some of the bigger branches, but you do get some damage, and I would say you take one damage to yourself. Enough to make you annoyed, but not enough to upset you too much.
Doesn't a protector have something that let me like jump in, or am I thinking of like a paladin? Like seriously, 2 weeks, it's gone. It's just
I know, it's hard.
Let's see. Let me double check.
I don't think I have anything.
Nope.
Maybe it was an option to take something like that. I thought I remember reading it. Okay.
You have initiative back in that makes you go first in case something's endangered, so that might be it.
Maybe that's it. Okay. Sorry,
but this
Beatrice.
wasn't combat. It was the environment saying, "Hey, no,
Yeah.
don't do that." So
He was
you
about
have
to jump in and take the hit, but instead he was reading his character sheet and just
one.
it took too long.
What can I do again?
So you do have to go around this tree. It does impede your travel, and it takes a good hour to get to the end because you do have to move carefully. The rain is impeding you, the mud's impeding you, trees are out to get you, apparently. And you eventually get to the end, but when you do, you are kind of soaked to the bone and are on the verge of hypothermia. It's that kind of cold out. So you either need to warm yourselves and wait, and dry up a bit, or you can keep going and risk hypothermia.
Said we do get to the end. Yeah, I guess we will sit by the fire. Warm
Okay.
up a little bit.
Okay.
The bartender's name again? If they're working now.
Harris.
Yeah, I call over to Harris and see if he'll send over some hot chocolate.
Of course. He sees you, gives you a nod, and kind of preps everything, sets drinks down. It's a nice hot chocolate. It has a bit of a alcoholic smell to it. But he gives it to you, doesn't take your payment, and goes back behind the bar.
You seen Jonas?
He pauses and turns. Not today. As he goes towards his bar and then stops and turns back to you. I did see him up towards the archives a bit. From there, he shakes his head. Don't know.
Thanks, Harris.
He waves and kind of lumbers back behind the bar. Sits down, opens his book, ignores the patron that just comes up to the bar to order a drink, and continues to read. About 30 minutes pass and you're feeling warmer. You're not under the threat of hypothermia anymore.
We can go knock on his door.
I think that's a good plan.
And Beatrice, you got scratched up by that tree, didn't you?
Just a bit, but certainly had worse given that weather.
That's all right. And like, she'll pull out just a little bit of some herbs from her apron and just kind of rub it on the scratches. And I'm gonna heal you. This is by Charm Touch, which is an intellect difficulty 2 task, which I get a 10 on.
Nice, well done.
And I heal you for 6, but
Well
I
done.
will take it.
Well done, well done.
yeah, we can go talk to him, talk to Mr. Jonas.
We're fine, whatever's up there. Beatrice kind of says under her breath.
Yeah. So, how are you gonna find his room?
Maybe we ought to ask somebody who might know. He's here.
You can do that, or you can just start,
Knocking
knocking
on
on doors. Either way.
Harris, where's Jonas staying? The presidential suite?
You just hear a snort from Harris. Nah, he's room 4. Up on the top.
Wow, there's really a presidential suite. Okay. Thank you. So, head on to 4.
All right. You head up to 4. It's a pretty easy climb up to the top there. Nothing stops you. Nobody stops you. Everybody's trying just to weather this storm, more or less. As you get there, it's a nice, beautiful hall, well-maintained. Lanterns are kind of lining the walls themselves. Beautiful pine doors. A rug kind of neatly sprawled across the hall itself. Some pictures, not too much. And there's a nice smell of jasmine here for whatever reason. But there are 6 doors on either side, and they're each numbered. And eventually you do come across number 4 with the beautiful brass 4 on it.
Knock, knock, knock.
You knock
Jonas?
several times, and there's a pause. Silence. Nothing.
I say, Jonas, it's Dare. If you're in, go answer the door. Just checking on you. Welfare check.
Another long pause greets you. Nothing.
Anyone got any paper?
Yeah, I'll tear out a piece of my journal and I'll hand you it in a pencil.
Write him a note. Let's see. Some of the local boys might be gunning for you or suspicious of you. Reach out when you get this. Dare.
Okay.
Slip it under the door.
Do you brace yourself against the door to support yourself as you slide it under, or you just squat down?
I take that metagaming maybe to mean that the door might not be fully latched. I'm sure that he isn't the most delicate as long as he doesn't think anyone's in there, so he probably brushes against the door.
Yeah, so you brush against the door, and whether loosed by the knocking or you by pushing, it does give way. It kind of slides open, just creaking just that little bit.
Dare, door's open, and I push it all the way open just to not mince words or anything else about it.
Push that door open. You're greeted with a tidy room. There's a suitcase on the bed. Bed's made. There's a desk. The window is open for whatever reason, letting water in. And there's a scattering of papers kind of on the bedside table. That's about it.
Teresa will go close the window.
Oh, you know I'm all over those papers.
That's all you.
Go.
Give me.
You go close the door, Teresa, and you see something peeking up from you from the road itself. Has two very luminous, wide, white eyes. It kind of blinks at you in that frog manner, kind of one after another, and then kind of scuttles away, ignoring you. It just was startled by the noise or your presence for whatever reason. Doesn't want anything to do with you.
Oh yeah, it was startled.
Sometimes spooky things get
It's just a
scared
little
too.
guy. Yeah, he's just a little guy.
Just a little guy. He doesn't want to do anything. But Beatrice, you go over to those papers, and I'll put yes, show players. I want to show them. So, can you all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is what you find.
Who wants to read it out for our audience?
Oh, can you pop it up again? I think I closed it thinking that it was behind all these pop-ups.
Oh no.
Thank you very much.
In slanted writing, as if hurried, there are a few notes of observations, seemingly torn from a diary or journal. GL. Although vicious and easily capable of murder, the Grey Ladies can be quite conversational if doing so suits their interests. They present themselves as serious, intelligent women of privilege, familiar with human comforts and technology, including driving an automobile. They can be bargained with, although such bargains are usually of the variety where they decide to spare someone's life if given exactly what they want. If there is more than one Grey Lady present, they tend to eerily finish each other's sentences. HT. A difficult curse-breaking ritual is likely to succeed only if done under the branches of a haint tree of the green. A haint tree of the inner dark is the center of a blighted grove where sickness and pain take on physical form. ND. Travelers on a road spot a deer up ahead, but instead of running away, it acts strangely and makes disturbing clicking noises. Seeing a group of deer in the failing light is a momentary respite from the horrors of the world, until it becomes apparent that one of the animals is not a deer. TK. Repetitive noises in a new tunnel branch signal an upcoming collapse. Tommyknockers are blamed for food and equipment going missing in a mine.
Who the hell is this man? This ain't something.
Maybe
This ain't something some organizer is putting together.
No, it sounds like someone who's trying to figure out what's going on. Maybe the person who wrote those notes that we were asking about just yesterday.
I'm trained in perception now. Is there anything that I can roll to get anything from the room?
Roll perception.
Do I add anything to it now that I'm trained, or is it still just flat?
If you're trained in it, should add that trained into your roll already.
I rolled
not-
physical dice.
Let's see.
I mean, I can roll it to see what
training
it would
just
do.
eases the difficulty.
Yeah, so this would be a difficulty of 2.
I got a 1. That one.
Oh,
So that's a
Well-
GM intrusion. Make sure you take your XP for that.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I'm throwing salt at that. Whatever shows up in here, I'm throwing salt at it.
Oh.
I mean, I
GM
step
intrusion,
away.
Salt
you know.
in the eyes. Why?
Everybody saw the one and moved away.
So, so you try to observe Jasper as you're kind of leaning over some of your companion's shoulders just to see what's in the room. Being a taller fellow yourself, you kind of peer in, look around, and you notice in the tidiness of this room, yes, there is a carpet underneath the bed just to keep the floor warm when you don't want cold feet stepping on a wooden floor the first thing in the morning. You notice that one of the corners is upturned and there's something under it.
All right, I'm gonna look at that closer.
Of course. You go over, look it under. Boy, does it love being looked under. As something snatches a hand out, grabs your wrist, and tries to pull you towards it.
No.
Ah!
Teresa
No!
reaches, sees this happen, reaches and throws salt in that direction.
Okay, yeah.
And that's my throw salt ability, which means you can refuse a GM intrusion without spending XP. I get that once per each 10-hour recovery. So.
Nice.
So Teresa, being quick on her feet, throws salt at whatever has grabbed you, and it screeches in this unholy sound and slicks back under the rug, and nothing's there.
Get back, you hain't.
Man, you're
Oh,
really doing the protecting these days.
So just so you guys know that there are information under journal entries that are all for you. Excuse me, observations is there for you as well. So I've made sure that there's a text for each of everything I include that has official. Aside from the maps. But yes. If you can't see it, just tell me. But yes, you survive whatever it is that tried to grab you.
They really are everywhere, huh?
Apparently.
Whatever's
okay?
happening in this mountain pulled them all out, I guess.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You do notice, Jasper, there's a small childlike hand bruise on your wrist now.
I think I'll
Lovely
show
bit
that
of-
to the group. Yeah, I don't really like the looks of this, though.
No damage, just a lovely little handprint. That's a treat.
Oh, it's creepy.
Yeah,
You
why
gotta
would you
prefer
show
the
that to
damage.
us? We're supposed to be a protector. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic at protecting these
Just
days.
say, yeah, it's nothing. Never mind. Cover it up. And...
Sure, and then leave you unsuspecting.
No. We all have different definitions.
What I don't know about can't hurt me. What are you talking about?
Right. Protect me from the world.
See, now, I wonder if Jonas found this from the archives, or he's been actually looking around, just because Harris mentioned him going to the archives. And just the way that they're shorthand over each of these definitions of what he's trying to write, it makes me think there's either more to it, whether that's maybe something marked on a map, or I don't know, maybe something written somewhere else. Seems too much like code to me.
And Harris said he hadn't seen him all day. And then you went to the archives today, right?
Yeah.
So he would have been there before you. Did you have any indication, or I don't know, in seeing this stuff, is there any, looking back, is there any indication that somebody went through stuff and took the good bits before you got to them, or any insight there?
Would I know that, GM?
I mean, you didn't really look through the archives other than that table.
Yeah.
So, unless you go back, you really wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the more focused on what we had just gotten in, just because of how strange it was. But I mean, if we were to go back, I could probably figure out if there was, some type of evidence of someone going through something.
Does the room look undisturbed for being unlocked? Does it look like somebody else had gone through some stuff before we got there?
It just looks really neat and orderly. Just the suitcase on the bed, the window that was open, and whatever was under the rug.
Bed named? Or bed made?
Mm-hmm. Bed's perfectly made. Very militaristic.
Well, do we want to go through his suitcase?
I mean, we'll put stuff back, right?
I'll watch the door.
I mean, yeah, I feel like at this point, if we're at all worried that something has happened to him, then I think going through his stuff is the least of our concerns, and least of his.
True, we might learn something from his socks. All right, I'll watch the door.
Where all the good stuff is hidden. Every time you always hide it in your socks.
All right. You have the suitcase before you. It is locked.
Oh no. Is that something that I picked? I doubt I picked a lockpick. I'll be honest with you.
I definitely did not.
Nope.
I can do sleight of hand tricks, but they're more illusions. So he would have to be in front of me, and I could pick the lock. But I don't think I can do it if he's not watching me. Let's see.
Your fellow party members could watch you.
Look, give us a show.
Nothing in my hands. I'll give it a shot, but I don't have any special skills towards that.
Yeah, by all means.
What would be the roll there?
If you have, let's see, I would say speed, that would fall under dexterity. So make if Jenna, if you have anything toward, you're an engineer, you have engineering.
I do have engineering.
I would allow that because technically lockpicking is engineering.
All right.
Very good. So you're like, I
rolled
don't
an
know,
11 for
guys.
the
I
folks
don't
at home.
know. And you're just, there's a moment of like doubt. You just spoke this out loud. You're unsure, and then you click. Wow, that was easy.
I did not make it look cool or like there was no flourish. I was just as surprised as anyone else.
Pops open, unlocked. The case is yours to explore now.
Cool. I open it towards Jasper. No.
Ta-da!
I open it up.
We all go,
right.
ooh.
Ooh, what's in the box? You open it, and inside, a week's worth of neatly folded clothes, a week's worth of socks that you've determined. What looks to be a diary of sorts that's been haphazardly kind of tossed on top of the clothes. Some news articles, that seem to be from Lexington, just like the horse races, nothing pertaining to timber itself. And you also find what looks to be almost a magnifying glass. And it has a weird green film over it, as if it were green glass itself. But that's what you see on top.
Okay. I hand the journal to Beatrice, just thinking that maybe they'd be interested.
I'll read. Why not?
Yeah, you open it up and it says, "The Diary of Lucas Brown."
Why does that sound familiar? Oh no. My brain.
Don't know Lucas Brown, but
Okay.
just could be that Jenny Brown is haunting your memories, but
Maybe.
but Lucas Brown is somebody you've not met.
It sounds like a good name, like an old-timey name that fits well into our story.
Well, this certainly isn't Jonas's diary, so I'll keep reading.
Yeah.
It's no longer invading his privacy. It's invading whoever this Lucas person's privacy.
I realized, even though I've told you I put information in, I realized I forgot to put this journal in.
Oh.
That is on me, but I'll read it out loud to you guys. It says, Diary of Lucas Brown, 1925. I'm heading down to Lexington, hopefully to sort something out. I'm meeting up with some union boys that way, and maybe they'll give me a lead that I've been looking for. They've pointed me to the town of Timber. Hopefully that's where I can go next. Shouldn't be too much. I have enough funds to get my way there. Mom and Dad will, of course, send their love towards me, but of course they know I have to do this. It's part of who we are. Browns have to do what Browns do, and that's to protect the green at any cost. Stories that come out of Timber, well, they're not nice. Then again, not much comes out of Timber. Page stops and you see torn pages. And then it continues on. Timber, 1925. I can't get into that damn mine even if I tried. Foreman just keeps tucking me out. Made a few friends. William seems nice enough, but I gotta keep up this ruse. Unions are tough, but I gotta be tougher. Hopefully maybe my sway with the Toledo Company will be enough to buy me some time. I think McCavish is getting a bit suspicious, but we gotta do what we gotta do. You turn the page and you see this beautiful drawing of the town itself. It's charcoal nature. And it's just observations, and you see little night notes saying, honeysuckles grow here. That's nice. And you see an abbreviation of WTF are apples doing here. And then you see, I saw a deer with 6 eyes, and you see a not deer drawn on the next page. And you see another abbreviation. Maybe I'm just going mad? I don't know. Moonshine's weird here. Good, but weird. And then you see a next page that says, the archives has more than what we care for. Gotta get a bit closer. Just a bit closer. Some folks have been asking questions. This nice fellow Dare, you've been looking out for me. I don't need it, but nice to know.
Does he say anything about the bread? Is there like any review? Anything like that?
There's no review of the bread, but you do see what looks to be sheaths of wheat drawn in the margins next to your name. And then the last entry is September 1925. I don't know what's coming next, but there's something in that mind. The teacher keeps bothering me, and I mean, she's right enough, she's pretty enough, but I'm not interested. Wish she'd leave me alone. Then that Jenny Brown keeps bothering me, and I wish she'd leave me alone. Huntress keeps bothering me too. Don't mind her company too much. She knows the lay of the land. Maybe I'll take her up on the offer to go up into the mountain later on. Signed, Lucas Brown.
Do you need a minute, Miss Beatrice? Being spoken of in the same sentence as Jenny Brown?
Oh, was that actually, is that the, like, I'm forgetting the name of the school teacher. What's
No,
her
it's
name?
definitely the teacher. It's not
Yeah.
you, the teacher.
Okay.
Teacher. Yeah.
Me, okay. I
I
was
thought it
like,
was. Sorry.
No.
it'd be funny. It'd be real funny.
Miss Jamie. Miss
Jamie,
Jamie's
right.
her name.
And what was that last line about? Maybe I'll take her invitation.
Take her invitation. The Huntress, you would know her as you know her as Maddie. The Huntress is known as Maddie. She's kind of a local woman who kind of lives on her own, hunts on her own. She provides a lot of the meat supplies here. She knows these woods. She knows the mountain.
And it's an invitation to go where?
Up the mountain.
Up the mountain. Okay, thank you. Hmm. Feeling more and more like we're going to end up at that mine.
Well,
Yeah.
the mine's where this started. So- But now we got a stranger in town poking at the same things that are now poking back at us.
Actually, could I take just a quick look at that weird magnifying glass?
Of course.
Yeah, we kind of just like, oh, look, a journal. Then I almost completely forgot we found something else.
And we haven't really
Um,
gone through the suitcase yet. These are just the things
Yeah.
that were on top.
The
So.
things
Yeah,
on
this
top.
is the
That's
top,
true.
yeah.
That's true. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's up with it being green.
Well, you pull it out. It's sizable for what it is. It's green glass. Something you know that can be used in modern glassware, especially towards the newfangled electrical wires that they keep putting out in the world. They put little glass balls on top of some of them. And this looks like to be a side cut of one of those little green glass bubbles.
Huh. Question is, what did he want to look closer at?
I'll go through the rest of the suitcase, see if there's anything within the clothes, pockets, or between shirts or socks.
Of course. Dig through it, and it's not a very big suitcase for what it is. Um, and these are fairly easy to find. You find a couple dollar bills. What looks to be another clipping of what looks to be a horse race. Something about a seahorse. You're not sure if it's seahorse as in the name or seahorse as in the actual name or animal itself. But you see that the Kentucky Derby's headline seems that whoever owns this or Jonas seems to like horses or at least horse races itself. But the date is for 1925 this year, and underneath all of that, you kind of find what looks to be a set of scissors. silver scissors, if anything, but no sewing kit to go with them.
I look closely at the scissors. Do I know what ciphers are? Since we do have these magical items.
Not so much as a name, it'd be more of you'd assume or believe magical items. It could be a ward of protection, something in the superstitious realm, like something to hold off, prevent, or to shift fate in some way. You would know it in that sort of sense.
Got it. I hold up the scissors. Like, is this made out of like some unusual metal or?
Mm, From observation, they just look like silver scissors. But you do see, as you're kind of holding them up, that there is a hawthorn flower kind of pressed or maybe carved into them. You're not sure, but it seems to be an unusual flower for these particular scissors.
Does that mean anything to anybody?
One of those posts was made of hawthorn. Again, not from around these parts.
Huh.
Hmm.
I look. Dare is aware, or maybe has helped some smuggling in the past. So he goes like the lining of the suitcase. He's checking some things that maybe are known techniques for hiding things. Is there? He wants to search the.
Search it, yeah. Um, Make investigation or an intelligence roll or a seek roll, anything that would involve you subterfuge if you have it, or anything that will allow you to do that. If you don't have any of that, just in a straight intelligence roll.
6.
Okay. So you're kind of feeling around. You've done this before. You're pretty good at it now. And you do find kind of in the corner where the shirts were kind of stacked on top of that the silk lining of the suitcase kind of pulls up and you see some threads that were like snipped in this area.
All right, let me check what's behind that, if anything.
Yeah, of
I'll
course.
pull it up a little bit.
Pull it up and you see what looks to be a faded paper with some writing that does not match the diary entry or the papers that Beatrice has found. It seems to be completely different writing.
Hand it to Beatrice. Dare can read, just, it's not his domain.
Mhm.
Yeah, he'll get a lot of things wrong, like
Oh,
pronunciation.
I will absorb the lore.
Of course. One second. That is not the one I wanted. I'm so sorry. And it's a ritual of sorts. It says how to appease the green man. And under it, there's a neater writing that says, call to the green man. I'll get that image one up one second.
Is this talking about Applejack? When he was all angry and blustery in my house, he was talking about something about the green.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
So you're kind of reading it as over. There's kind of a neat drawing of what looks to be oak leaves with a strange sort of face kind of in it itself. And you can roll lore if you so wish, or intelligence, or of the sort of thing.
Let's see. What do I have? All right, I'll just do. Will it work? Okay. 15.
15. So you would know that the Green Man is a kind of ancient being, not of your nation particularly, but of the Celtic nations of Scotland and Ireland. And to have this here is quite unique, but not totally unheard of. A lot of Irish and Scottish settlers settle in this part of the world. And this could be a turnover from, well, could be a turnover from either a past thing or somebody just bringing it back to life. You're not entirely too sure, but it would coincide with how the people of this land would kind of see things all together.
All right, my new cipher that I got at the end of last session is a chicken feather brush,
Mm-hmm.
which lets me brush the feathers against an object, such as a building, a cipher, or a weapon, while asking for permission to know it, and I will learn something important and useful about the object. So I don't know what the limitations are. If I could just keep doing this all day, I doubt
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But I could probably use this on the magnifying glass looking thing or the scissors,
Scissors,
or
yeah.
both. What would be the priority?
I think considering there's a tie potentially between the scissors being, Hawthorne themed, and there also being a Hawthorne post, like, I don't know, the connection might be there. I'm curious about that.
Let's do that.
I'm just gonna put this into the Discord as it's not working on my
Oh
end.
no.
It's okay. Do. One moment. All right, so you want to do the scissors? Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So you brush it over the scissors, and you gather that these scissors are indeed silver. Silver has a multitude of properties in the mythological world, and you know them to be a form of protection. And particularly the hawthorn itself is a form of protection. It's also a form of invitation. It's a form of welcome and joy and hope. So this duality between protection and hope kind of merges itself into these strange scissors. And you learn that these are scissors of unbinding.
All right. I take that note that I wrote before and I like cross it off and I write on the I don't cross anything off. I flip it over to the other side and I write borrowed your scissors also. And I take that and I put it next to my lamp and I basically put it in the suitcase before closing up the suitcase and I take the scissors.
Okay. Scissors are yours.
It's exactly how I feel about them.
They
I
are a
don't know that Jonas will
one-time
agree.
use, just so you know.
Okay, I still live in the lamp. All right.
Yeah. They're a one-time use and they can cut or unbind anything.
That's some powerful stuff.
Yep.
Especially for anyone just, happening by on union business to have.
Mhm. I can read the note that Dare found underneath the suitcase lining if you wish.
Yes.
All right. So, Dare, as you're tucking away the scissors and have the paper there, it says, Call to the Green Man. I call to the Green Man who resides in the north. I am the daughter of the earth who summons you forth. From the caves and deep forests, from fields and their flowers, being abundance and joy in the sacred hour. Green Man with great knowledge who sits in the east, hear these wishes and bless our pleas. Bring abundance and joy on the eastern breeze, from over the land and cross the seas. Green Man with fires from out of the south, remove this life negativity and doubt. Instill in the circle courage and growth, bring blessings and joy, abundance of both. Green Man who governs the love and the rain, come from the west and push away the pain. With each movement we make and breath we take, bring blessings, abundance, and gain. May your eyes be focused on our hearth. May your mouth utter blessings upon this house. So mote it be.
Would I know more about this Green Man at all?
Make a knowledge, lore, folklore, or magic roll.
Um, I got using magic, understanding magic, crafting magic, which would be more applicable here.
I would say because of this particular thing, I would say it would fall under craft.
That is uh, that's a 9.
It's 9. Okay. You know that the blessing of the green man is of abundance. He is spring. He is the May Day. He is life. He is the first fires of the year, and he is the death at the end of those fires. He is the perpetual cycle that continues forward and coincides with the maiden, mother, and crone. He is that thread that kind of pulls them all together. His blessing is very powerful if you can gain it. He's very fickle with his bargains, but he can be friendly if given the right offerings. And he can be quite joyous and caring when given the same in return. But he is the essence of life, unbound.
And would I have made any connection or know that there is a connection between him and Applejack?
That's up to you.
All right. This is stuff from the old country. It's stuff they talk about in stories. You know,
Seems to be a theme around this, huh?
Mhm. My granny used to leave out little offerings and things like that. Never called anything by its name, by the names they used back then, but it seemed like she always believed. I don't know what I believe, but I've seen a lot of things the past couple days. And maybe Granny was more right than wrong. But if Lucas here came to look at the mine, it seems like all our answers are there. Whatever it is. I don't know if I want to go in the middle of this storm, but how are y'all feeling about it?
Yeah, I don't feel like it's the most opportune time for us to head up there.
I agree. We almost froze to death in just this short walk. I don't think it's a great idea to try to go further than that without no shelter to actually walk into.
Where do we think Jonas is?
Well, I certainly hope he's not actually out there on his trip up to the mountain with Maddie. Definitely not the time. Could be at the archive if he wanted to go somewhere or to find more, whatever he was looking at.
So true.
I don't know. After reading all this, I feel like he might be able to take care of himself. If anything, I'm worried about when it comes to, the unknown, but I'm a little worried that a mob with a bunch of pitchforks could have gotten him. So that's remains my concern, but who knows?
Maddie's usually down in the lower level of the tavern, right? Or the inn.
Yeah.
Did we see her down there when we were there?
You saw her. She was taking her drink, probably
Okay.
just musing over her recent marks and stuff. Probably something to sell later on in the general store.
Maybe she might know where he's gone.
And his journal said that he was into Maddie. Was that what I remember?
Maddie had given him an invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maddie
sure.
has given an invitation to go up the mountain.
Got it.
As she would be the best tracker kind of trailhead to take on.
Maybe, I mean, we'll got to go down there on our way out, so maybe we'll see if she knows where he's gone off to.
Sure. Who was the person that the journal said that he was kind of into? The attentions of somebody that he didn't seem to mind. Am I remembering that right?
He didn't like any of the attention that was on him.
Okay, I thought there was
Especially
one
Jamie's. Did not like Jamie's.
Okay, I thought there was one person. He's like, I don't tend to mind this person.
It's Maddie. He doesn't mind
it
Maddie,
is
but
Maddie. Okay.
yeah, but Maddie's much older than him, so he might see it as more of a familiar motherly figure or just somebody he just gets on with.
Just thought I'd check out somebody else's room just in case, kids today.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we can get Jenny Brown on their case.
Going and hunting up the mountain is as the kids are calling it. All right. I guess we can check with Maddie on the way out, but otherwise, I think I want to check on my dogs and not freeze to death.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you head back down. Maddie is sitting over here by the what looks to be a poker table. She's not playing, she's just more sitting there chatting with somebody. having just a few drinks. Very relaxed kind of demeanor. She has long black hair, very tan skin, almost wizened brown eyes. And as you approach her, she sits up, leans back in her chair, gives you a smile as she lights a cigarette and puts it to her mouth.
Maddie, how's it going?
Teresa, how you doing?
And doing as well as I can. Got caught out in the storm. Decided to be here and get a little warmer.
Eh, yeah, it's just that time of year, I suppose.
I don't mean to bother you, but have you seen Mr. Jonas anywhere?
Mm, saw him in the afternoon, around the she kind of rubs her fingers together, shop area, archive area. Um, After that, asked him if he wanted to go up the mountain today, but he said later on. He wasn't quite interested in going up today. He had I guess something new. But who knows? Boys from Lexington think they know shit. How you doing there, Jasper? And she gives a wide smile.
I'm doing all right, Maddie. Hanging in there.
Offer to go hunting still there if you wanna go out in the woods sometime.
Yeah, I think I'll take you up on that when we've both got some time.
Perfect. I got time this Saturday.
What day in the week are we?
Wednesday.
Well, if I'm still alive and breathing, I guess we can certainly see what we can find out there.
I'll hold you to it, Jasper. There, as she shoots you a look, turns away.
Good to see you, Maddie. I'm sure we've had business before, like getting
Yeah,
things in and out of town. You know,
she might be brushing you off now, but she is very willing to work with you. She's
mhm.
just putting up an air, more or
Sure,
less.
sure.
She looks to you, Beatrice. Ma'am.
Ma'am.
Maddie seems to have various opinions on each of you.
Uh-huh. I don't know what I did, but okay.
You just seem to be on a shit list with all the elderly women in this town.
Yeah, it's fine.
So you looking for Jonas then? You need help tracking him?
Just want to make sure he's okay.
She pauses and thinks for a moment. It's not really your problem, dear.
Yeah, I make everything my problem.
Don't I know it? She kind of lets out an exasperated sigh as she kind of snuffs her cigarette out. You get home, I'll start a search in the morning. I'll let you know.
Appreciate it. You be careful going home. Not that you need the warning.
Don't worry too much about me. These mountains will finish me when they're finished with me.
More worried about the mountain.
Ah. She breathes as anything fine and as black dust as she can cough up, but she's a good mountain. Just a little troubled. She looks nostalgic for a moment before she sits up, takes a drink, and says, "Oh, I'm going to bed." Nice, she points to all of you and just leaves.
See you around. Jonas went to the archives. Like, thought he might. Supposedly. Sounds like it was a little bit ago. Yeah. Don't have to go far to get there, so might as well.
Might as well.
All right. So you going home first, or are you going to the archives first? Because we do need to check up on the good dogs.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we can do that and see. Over to Dare, your house. Describe it to me. What does your house look like, real quick?
I might have already given a description, so we'll just assume that was canon, or this is canon. It's like a one-room mill house type shack. It's nice. It's cozy. The dog. There's. I don't lock my doors, so the dogs can actually just sort of nudge open one of these flapping doors and get inside and out. Yeah, I got a bedroll, and it's a mattress on the floor, and a little stove. It's nice. I like it.
It's cozy. Definitely a definition of cozy. Dogs greet you as soon as you arrive. They love you, Dare. They're rubbing up all over you, kind of licking your hand. When they see the others, they bound over to them, kind of push their wet little noses against your hands, looking for food. They've already been fed, of course, but hey, they want more. But they're happy. Happy little dogs, wagging their tails. They kind of scoot out in the rain, see it's raining, come back in. It's like, nah, not today. You just
Shake themselves off in the worst possible places.
of course. All
Yeah.
over you, all over your bed, all over your nice things. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. But if you would allow it, Dare, a GM intrusion.
Sure.
All right, take your XP. Don't forget that. You, as your dogs are kind of making themselves wet all over your walls, bed, what have you. Dogs being dogs, in the best way. A little disturbance in your humble home catches your eyes. Not so much a sound or somebody's there or something's there, more of something has been out of place, shifted in a way that you would notice. And it's sitting right on top of your stove.
And what is on top of my stove?
It's an apple. And under it says, "Stop poking."
Is it written in Lucas/Jonas's handwriting, or is it written in a?
Not any handwriting you recognize, no. But the message is very clear.
I feed the apple to my dogs.
Of course. They'll munch on it, just happily eat it. They don't eat the seeds because they're gross. Seeds are gross. But they'll eat it, sit down by the fire, curl up, and just kind of roll on their sides for belly pats.
Oh yeah. Pet the dogs.
They're happy as can be.
I hold out the note if anyone else wants to read it. Don't know who it's from, but got my suspects. If anyone wants to take a look at the handwriting.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah, I'd be happy to look at the handwriting. And I didn't say that we took the magnifying glass, but like, I feel like we probably did.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if there's anything like, I don't know, can I find like little fingy prints or something that like, I don't know, they look weird.
Jasper's looking over Beatrice's shoulder. That's not comforting.
You're just so quiet. Why do you always do that?
Sorry.
As you get jump scared by Jasper, it will go into break as you find out what this mystery unsolves itself, or if it just goes, hey, let's keep going.
Bears.
Okay, sounds good. We'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes. See y'all soon.
Hello and welcome back. Let's get back into it as we have found ourselves in Dare's humble home with his cute little dogs, Cookie and Clover, eating some belly rubs. There was a note with an apple that says, don't poke. And you're coming all back to this as the note is held out to all of you, and you're kind of looking at this glass, Beatrice, with looking for fingerprints. Jasper has given you the right scare.
Ah,
If you want, Beatrice, you can do investigation, search, something that allows you to look for fingerprints.
see, do I have anything? No, I'm just really good at mapping and history. It's gonna be a flat roll, and that's okay. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, hold on. I might have something
Okay.
in abilities. Like I just,
Yeah.
oh no, that's about languages. Dang it. Oh, that would have been so good. That's for later. That's for later. Okay, I'm just gonna roll D20.
Okay.
8.
8. Yeah, that's fairly good enough. You kind of hold it up in near the fireplace. You do see like smudges from where somebody would have held it. Like kind of like holding it like this. And you do see as you're kind of looking, because it's kind of raised in a weird way, kind of like lettering near where this kind of magnifying glass is faceted to the glass itself. So the circular devices held the glass like in place. So somebody was using it actively, but you do see some etching in the glass itself.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll take a closer look at that then. Or
Yeah.
is it just like this was something about like a company based on whatever bottle this came from, or like, no, someone put this here. Why did they put it here?
Uh, no, it's definitely a like kind of a stamp, a company stamp, like glassmaker stamp and stuff like that. And it just says electrical company glass bobble. So nice and neat. Um, mm, you could make a history or knowledge check if you want.
Ooh, I can do history. Ooh, 18.
Yeah, definitely. With an 18, you know that this particular kind of strange, weird glass is thick on purpose because of where it is placed on power lines. It is to help diverge the conduction of electricity
Hmm.
downward instead of outwards towards those repairing the lines. And this would be mostly an anti-electrical glass sort of thing before they understood that rubber would actually be better down the line. So this is what this glass was used. You can still find them in the modern day of 2024, but they're increasingly rare in the day and age of 2024. But in the year 1925, they're quite abundant.
Well, neat. I mean, is yeah, like I guess in the context of timber though, like have I seen really any of that around timber that like would clue me into, oh yeah, no, you can just grab that and it's fine.
No, timber doesn't seem to have invited electricity into the town. It's
Yeah.
very much lanterns and firelight still.
Okay. I'll definitely keep that in mind. I guess it's not that strange if Jonas Ash Lucas brought it with him. Like he could have been
Mhm.
somewhere that had this place. Um, okay. And yeah, nothing like too odd about the note. Like, do I know whose handwriting this might be?
I don't think you would, no,
Okay.
unfortunately.
What is it like? Is it more like scrawly or is it nice?
It's
Does it look like they're
purposeful.
purposeful? Okay.
As in, your teacher when she writes home or he writes home to your mom, like, see me after class, purposeful. It's that kind of lettering.
Okay. Well, I'm not entirely sure who wrote this, but they were serious about it.
Just makes me want to poke more.
I know what you mean. So do you think this was more just directed at our good friend Dare or all of us?
Well, see if you got an apple at your house. But I do have a reputation for meddling. I might be working on that. Some self improvement motivated by meddling a little too much in the entire town's business of the last few days. So
You were also talking to the guys who were selling fruit, who were selling the apples. So
yep,
yeah,
I upset the apple cart, which is not even a play on words. It's just what happened.
so this could be anybody from a local fruit seller to a demon. So at this point, we don't know.
Unless it's written in like the Thor script from Marvel Comics doesn't exist yet. I think that we can probably assume that it's Zach or George.
So, with your dogs checked in on, Clover and Cookie happy, relaxed, did their thing outside, made your room entirely too wet. What would you like to do next, guys?
Do we want to check out the archives tonight or wait till morning? What's the weather like right now?
The storm has tapered off. It's still raining, but it's not like a threat to life rain. It's just a light mist at this point. It's not thundering as much. If anything, it's moved off, leaving you with some downed trees. One that has a particular grudge against Beatrice, apparently, and yeah, it's just a wet night now.
Who the archives?
To the archives. All right, to the archives you go. Mhm.
It's loading.
I don't have a token in this scene. Oh no.
Yeah, let me.
Don't worry, I'll pull you on.
Oh. The darkness
Eh.
welcomes us. Oh.
In the scene settings, you can turn on global vision as well. So if you want.
No, no global settings. Yeah, one moment.
We play dolls in this house.
I can
Is
set
that?
if you want me to.
Yeah, yes, please.
Mhm.
Because I don't know this side configuration well enough to be like, hey, this is how you do it.
Yeah, no, I've learned quite a bit. So
Yeah, there's definitely a learning curve with Foundry, I feel like.
mhm.
Let's see it.
It's
Pull
very
Therese on.
DIY. So
Yeah. I need Beatrice, I think. There we go.
There
Fab.
it's very dark, but we can all see.
The lights are so pretty.
Yes.
Glow.
So in front of you is the archives, and attached to it is Jenny Brown's shop. Both closed. They have lanterns in front of them, glowing lightly in the dark night. Rain has tapered off even more, just leaving you mildly damp and inconvenienced. But the archives are yours. The door is in front of you, closed at the moment.
Yeah, I don't really want to alert Jenny Brown that we're here. Um, so if we could quietly go through the archive door, that would be key. That'd be pretty awesome.
Sure. The door's locked.
Would I, as an archivist, have a key?
You tell me, do you have the keys?
I mean, considering Jenny Brown doesn't care about the archives, I feel like she probably would just like hand over the key.
All right. I'm convinced. So you have the keys. You can unlock the door without too much of a fuss. Door opens with its ancient groan and creak, and you can push inside, and you're greeted with a long hall, two doors to your left and right, halfway between. There is a table kind of tucked away. You almost trip over because it is dark. All the doors are shut at the moment, just because that's just how it is. But there are various rooms you can explore. The room off to your immediate right is where you found the papers, Beatrice. It has a table on it, still undisturbed from what you remember, but the door is shut. The to the left is a fireplace with more tables, more books, and more doors. And there's a set of stairs that goes up to storage. Nothing too much up there. It's mostly just book coverings and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, let's head on towards the right first. That sounds hopefully promising. We'll see.
Okay. You open the door and it creaks open and you shuffle in. The table is still there. The door leading to Jenny Brown's is right there as well. So that'd be this door up here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's shut, locked, you would assume. There are two rooms, one with a shut door, kind of a alcove room where two tomes kind of sit, a bookshelf to your immediate left with books just all over the place.
Okay. Well, it's yeah. I guess I'll do like just the cursory sweep. Like, and it doesn't look like there's another person here, right?
Yeah, make a perception check with hindrance because it is dark.
Okay. How do I do hindrance on here?
One step down, so I would say -1 to your roll.
Okay. I'll just do that when we do. Okay.
Yeah.
17.
Very good. So with a 17, you look around, nobody seems to have been here other than you. In the last hour or so, looks like nobody's really bothered to tidy up here, other than you taking those papers. Yeah, it's just the room.
Hmm.
Do you know enough about the archives that maybe the papers, I guess these were notes. He didn't steal any papers. I was thinking maybe if it was, if he had stolen papers, that maybe they would look a little different and you'd be like, no, that's from this
Yeah.
room or this. Oh.
Well, if he was here, he did a really good job of covering his tracks. But there's always across the hall.
You also have the archives further back.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, nothing looks amiss in this area. Guess we're gonna keep on trucking.
Of course. You have the door at the end of the hallway and the door to your left.
All right, let's just go across the hallway then.
Okay.
Wait.
You step in, the fireplace is still kind of roaring. Well, it's dying at this point. There is a book on top of the table that just hasn't been put away. It's cozy for all reason. It's nice. Floor creaks as you kind of step in. But other than that, it's quiet.
Just what they want us to think. I'll, again, I'll just keep sweeping. It's like, I don't know, is there anyone hiding under the table? Like, does someone not want to know we're here?
You look, nobody's under the table. Maybe a few dust bunnies, but nobody's
Hmm.
under the table.
I just want to. This is going to be my version of dark vision. I have see the unseen. I can
Mm-hmm.
see. You automatically perceive creatures and objects that are normally invisible, insubstantial, or hidden via magic. When looking for things more conventionally hidden, the task is eased. So, putting that out there.
Yeah, of course. Nothing magical within the first two rooms or the hallway that you can sense or see.
Awesome.
You do have the door to the back, and you have the door at the end of the hallway, and another door at the end of the hallway next to the one that's in the back of this room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll just keep on trucking back here. Hello,
Oh.
Mr. Obama.
You open the door, creaks open, as a old door tends to do.
Oh no. The way the corner is. Okay, let's see if it'll let me out, please. Okay. Let me out.
Let you out.
Okay. We'll just keep on going back.
All right.
Feel like something's gonna jump out at me.
You keep on going back. You are greeted with another table with a little candle on it that's ready to die out. Um, more books, more shelves. What looks like a cozy chair, but nothing else. Maybe a side table. Got the door to the top right and the door to the far back.
How long those candles last? I mean, somebody was here how long ago?
Maybe a few hours ago. It's only about maybe 8 at night. You guess
Okay.
somebody probably just left the things on, let them die out. They're not really much of a threat the way they're sitting. They're sitting on their own candle kind of stand. So when they melt, they'll die in that stand.
Okay.
Okay. Nobody in here. Hello.
So we're only sneaking so we don't wake up Miss Jenny Brown,
Yeah, pretty much.
right? Okay.
Yeah, you go into that back room back there. You're kind of greeted with a chair, more books. Um, what looks to be a little waist-high table, cozy for what it is. And Yeah, it's just shelves, more books, more walls.
I didn't realize how extensive these archives were. Now that the map is here, it's like, oh no, this is actually incredible. We have a lot of history here.
Yeah. Ember has some secrets.
Uh-huh.
That it does.
Hello.
Go through the door, and you're greeted with a mess and broken shelves, scattering books across the floor. There's a chair kind of tucked up in the alcove, but immediately in front of you is a broken shelf, books all over the place, strewn. That's what you see.
And it wasn't like this before, right?
As far as you're aware of, no.
Okay. Like, oh, the shock at this sight. Doesn't look like anybody like got trapped under there, right?
As far as you can tell, nope, nobody's under there.
Okay.
Just a very messy bookshelf.
Well, whoever was looking for something wasn't very careful about it.
Does it look like they were reckless in searching, or does it look like there was a fight or a commotion?
Ooh.
If I
Probably a fight or a commotion. It doesn't look like they're recklessly looking, but it looks like it was either intentionally pulled down or somebody just pulled it down.
Mhm. Hmm. And what room is this? Like, does the subject matter? Is that how is this divided? This
Seems to be by years. This seems to be 1915.
Oh, so about 10 years ago. I mean, is there any sign of like the attacker or the attackee?
Not in this room.
Hmm.
what about as things are strewn about? Is there anything that looks like the a person before they got in the fight was already looking at it? Is in like an open book on a table is separate from all the stuff that was fell off shelves.
Mm, you could make me an intelligence, perception, seeking, something to that effect.
Okay, I think Dare suggests this to the group. I don't know that he would know how to look for it, but he will roll regardless.
If one of your companions wants to help, you can get an edge.
He should not have looked. He rolled a one.
Oh,
Woo! Second
so
GM
that's
intrusion. Let's go.
so
do
this
it.
is so as you're kind of poking into this, there, kind of trying to sort yourselves out. Uh, the door next to let's see, next to Beatrice suddenly springs open and bangs off the wall quite violently. And out of the room kind of shambles this strange man. I'll bring up the light so you can see him.
Ah,
And he is kind of lumbering towards you, blank stare, mouth kind of agape, kind of marching towards you. And will enter into combat
uh-oh.
as the blank-eyed man has found its quarry.
What does that mean?
All right, let's see. So let's go into initiative here. Excuse me. Sneeze. No, I'm not. I lied to you. Let's see. How do I start the initiative tracker here?
Okay, so you select the tokens you want to be in
Mhm.
initiative, and then right click one of them, and it'll give you this like cross swords icon. That's how you add tokens.
I see it. All right, there we go. So Blank-Eyed Man rolled a 9. And the rest of you can roll your initiative, or I can do it, either or. Don't forget, Dare, you do have advantage to your initiative roll, so you can roll twice and take the higher of the two numbers.
Where is that on the character sheet again?
I think it would be in your skills if you have initiative, but I don't know what initiative
okay.
is otherwise. So
It's just
Not
a
me.
D20.
yeah,
Just a
But I
D20?
can,
Okay, I love it.
yeah.
7 for me.
I've rolled.
Nine.
I mean, sorry, 9. Now, did you just say you rolled a 1?
I did roll a 1.
Oof. Well, I guess initiative is a great place for ones.
Yeah, but it's still a GM intrusion, I think.
All right, I rolled a 15 and a 3, so I'll take the 15. I also tried to roll 2d20, but it just added them together. It didn't give me the separate.
That's all right. Okay. So if you could give me all those numbers again. Sorry.
15 Dare.
15 Dare.
How
Beatrice?
do you scroll
Looks
in
like,
the
yeah,
map?
looks like Beatrice is next with a 9.
A 9.
Jasper's also got a 9.
To pan the map, you hold down right click and pan around.
And Teresa, what you rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
How do we break initiative ties?
It's just a negotiation between you and Beatrice, more or less.
Oh, okay. I don't have a preference. You can go first.
Okay.
Blank-eyed men or enemies will always go last, so you don't need to worry too much about his initiative. I
Nice.
just need to know what he'll do on turn after yours. That's his one. All right, top of the round. Dare, you see this guy kind of push out, banging this door open, and his eyes are fixated on Beatrice.
So what I'd like to do is switch places with Beatrice. Is there a mechanic for that? Is
Of course.
there? Great.
With the permission of your fellow player, you can just simply say, I swap places and take the place in front of the enemy, and that enemy's focus will become on you. So it will be part of your movement, which should be, I believe, medium or short, however it fixates. So that would be part of your action, just so you know.
Miss Beatrice, may I have this attacker?
I think she's just frozen, so you can probably move
So like
her.
lift her up.
Yes.
Woo! Woo! Yeah, so you're in front of this blank-eyed man. He's kind of shambling forward and modern day equivalent of a zombie.
So I have a wrecking bar, and that's one of my main weapon. So I basically sort of put the wrecking bar between us and sort of like tap it to his chest, and I say, "Back off, kind sir. This, is this what you want?"
All right. Are you making an attack?
Do I get the sense that he's about to attack us?
Yes, very much.
Yes, I guess I do.
Okay. So what is the damage on your weapon?
Let's see. Great. It's 4.
Okay.
But I rolled another 1.
Yes. Oh my
How
goodness.
many will we have this session?
Don't forget to take your XP when you roll that 1. You get a failing forward mechanic with this game. So Teresa, you get that 1 for your initiative roll.
You can only get 2 2 XP per session, correct?
If you roll beyond that, I'll allow it because the rolls are the extenuating circumstance that will allow it beyond that.
Okay, because
Especially if you
that's the second
that's
one that I've rolled.
yeah.
So,
So if you roll a 1 and it's already been your 2, you're allowed to gain another
all right.
XP towards that. I will
All right.
rule it as thus, as the dice gods are just having a day with you guys.
Yeah.
And as you roll this 1, this blank-eyed man kind of takes the hit. He doesn't take damage, unfortunately, because of that 1. Let's see. And as you do so, he will deal a quick succession of blows. So he attacks twice. As you hit him, you take 8 points of damage to your might.
So much damage.
Okay.
Oh no.
I've got something that says "don't mind." I can't remember what that skill means, but he pretends not to mind at the very least. I don't know if he's actually not minding being hit that hard.
You'll have to look that up because if it's not in your character sheet, I won't know it off the top of my head. So
Yeah, I'll check it.
I have
I'll
it.
Yeah,
look
I
it
have
yeah.
it pulled up here if you want. It says you're trained in intellect defense tasks and have +2 armor against damage that selectively targets your intellect pool. So
Ah, so it does
this
not
will
mean
be
what the way
yeah.
I interpreted it. Good to know.
Yeah, it goes against your might, unfortunately. So, because you immediately attacked, we'll move on to Beatrice. Beatrice, this thing has attacked Dare and has attacked him quite viciously, leaving marks across his body.
Yeah, no, I think that kind of snaps Beatrice back into the moment of like, oh my God, this is actually real life. This is happening right now. Good Lord. The Beatrice's main weapon is a hatchet, and I don't think that's something that someone just carries around. So I'm a little unsure of how to navigate like doing an attack with something that's like in the inventory on the character sheet when like I don't know. I'm not entirely sure like yeah, what do I do? Is it fine to do that since it's on the character sheet, or should I be like, no, I don't have a hatchet actually.
It's completely up to you if you want to role play a memory that allows you this ability or not ability. It's up to you how you want to play this.
So we grabbed some tools from my house. I also have a hatchet, but it isn't the first thing I would reach for. So I don't know. We could say that we brought some tools from my place.
I would allow it, yeah.
Weren't
Okay.
sure.
Okay, as long as that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I
as
don't
long
be like,
as you
oh
have
yeah,
a
here's this like
plausible reason.
incredibly like deadly weapon that like you don't just carry around. Okay, yeah,
It's a hatchet of studying +2. It's
yeah,
a magic item that you.
yeah.
You can have a hatchet belt loop.
Very good. Okay, well,
There's a
I would.
publisher called Hatchet. I don't know if it existed back then.
Yeah, I would like to try to attack this. What was his name? The man,
The blank-eyed
the
man.
blank-eyed man. I would like to try to attack him with this hatchet.
Of course.
No. Well, that's a 4.
Did she
Oh
hit
no,
me?
y'all.
Okay.
No. No, there's just too
Goodness.
much debris in the way. I get the hatchet stuck in like the shelf that toppled over.
So the GM intrusion for this particular character is very specific, and I'm so sorry that this is happening twice in a row now. So you take 8 points of damage to your might.
Oh no, y'all. This is a problem. See if anybody can land a hit.
All right. That's for me. All right. Up next, Jasper. You're seeing your companions getting quite a beating from this strange man. You're not sure. I should tell you, Dare and Beatrice, your next 2 rounds are in hindrance by 2 steps. So that's part of the intrusion, as well as getting attacked twice by this thing.
But think of all the experience we're getting.
You're going to be level 3 before I
Oh,
know
yeah,
it.
that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't forget your experience.
Yeah, grab
But
XP.
yeah, grab your XP. So Jasper, this thing is just having a field day on your friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my revolver and attempt to shoot.
Of course.
It's just a flat roll, correct?
If you
hit?
don't have any training in it, then
I'm
yes.
trained.
Then yes, it'll be a flat roll. So yes, no hindrance to it. Excuse me.
Okay, that's a 4.
That's a 4. Okay, cool. All
Cool.
right. Do. It will take 3 points of damage because it does have armor. Now that you see that you've hit it, but there's something a bit more sturdy about this being.
Okay.
Would you like to move? Because you took a
Uh,
major action, you can take a minor action by moving.
I think I'll stay where I am for now.
Not a problem. Teresa, this thing is vicious.
It just hurt those two very hard. Oh God. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let us get out of here. I am going to use my ability Quick Bind. So I surround the foe of my size or smaller with scintillating energy, keeping it from moving or acting for 1 minute as if frozen solid. I must be able to see the target, and it must be within short range. While bound, the target is impervious to harm, cannot be moved, and is immune to all effects. Um, which is why I was like, oh, do I want to heal or do I want to do this? But let's get us out of here. Like,
Yeah, of course. Doesn't need to make any saves.
It doesn't say that.
Then that's fine.
The 3 intellect point move. So
okay, not a problem. So Teresa, you see your friends get seized by this thing, and you're just like, no, and it becomes still. And now that it's become still, and you're staring at a thing, you know your magic is limited. It's hard, but you can make a quick perception check or intellect check, something to look as you are not battered. You're not bruised by this thing.
That is a 13.
You see what looks to be a book kind of sticking into its pocket with some papers, kind of poking out, old papers.
Yoink.
You yoink
Yeah.
it. It's still kind of like this, hunched over, staring at all of you, particularly Dare and Beatrice, who've tried to hit it and then kind of shifts its eyes towards Jasper. But you can run, or you can continue taking this thing on.
I say like it won't be stuck long. And like how Teresa did it, she like pulled out like a piece of twine and like sympathetically tied a knot and pulled it tight, and like it won't stay stuck long. We should get out of here, and I'm gonna start backing towards the front door. Like,
Is it possible for us to like close the doors behind us? See if we can like put more layers between it and us. It's like, no.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Like you could definitely just shut the door. I mean, it's flew the door open and bang, but it hasn't stepped through the threshold. You've been attacking it through this threshold. So you shut the door and they're like, no, not today. But as you leave combat, let me finish. No more combat. Go away. Well, you're out of combat.
Spending all that
Yes.
experience on one more edge was so worth it. Like,
Yeah. But you can leave, you can get out of there. Wherever you want to go is up to you.
Teresa's first thought is home. So like,
Yeah. Even though like the wards are technically gone, I think all of us are like, that's the safest place to be.
Yeah, 100%. So, with Dare and Beatrice hurt, Jasper shooting this thing, Teresa kind of making sure it doesn't come after you, you are able to retreat to Teresa's home. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You are able to get there safe and sound, muddy from the rain, of course. But you're able to get there, collapse in whatever seat you need, kind of recover from whatever this thing is. And Teresa, you got that bit of notebook.
Oh, I'm as we get home, Teresa, she's thinking about making sure everyone's okay. She walks into her kitchen. She uses hedge magic to like she puts the pot on the stove, starts to heat it up, but uses hedge magic to make it boil more quickly. And she um will take a bowl of this stew that she has, bring it first to Beatrice. Um, and I'm gonna try and use this charm touch again. It says,
Okay, I trade places with her again. No.
I'll get to you.
One moment.
Since I've used it twice now, it is hindered, but it's usually a difficulty 2. So, that is 13. This beats difficulty.
Very good.
So you regain 6 to your
6
might pool.
again.
Yeah. And before giving the information, I'm gonna go over to Dare and try the same thing. This is not hindered.
Absolutely.
But I only got a 2.
I appreciate it regardless.
It's hot food. I give some to Jasper, and like she is like being fastidious in this space, and then she just remembers that she has this stuff, and she quietly hands it to Beatrice. Doesn't say anything, just hands it.
Nothing weird on your stove, is there?
Was there anything weird on my stove?
Yeah, was there an apple?
Just a few spiders, but that's pretty common.
Yeah. They can stay there.
Yeah. They're cute little jumping spiders, so they're the best spider.
Oh, yeah, they're cute. Yeah, Beatrice will like honestly just be taking the papers without even like thinking. Will just like kind of grab without looking at what she's being handed for a second. And then yeah, just I this couple of minutes has probably just been an absolute blur of what the hell was that? We're leaving. We run. Now we're just like sitting here. It's been a lot. I guess like what's running through her head at the moment, like did she recognize the face of that person at all, or was it just an old man?
I'm not sure. It smelled horrible, if anything.
Okay.
Walked funny. You're not sure. Had a weird, blank stared face on it. It's unnatural, was the best word your mind could form.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of like now that we have a chance to think, like I've seen a lot of photographs. Maybe there's like an old man. I don't know. Yeah, no, I'll look at the stuff that was just handed to me.
Okay. All right. Can
Oh,
everybody see
hello.
that?
Yes. Oh, they're so cool.
Thanks. I had to find a template. I was very proud of myself.
Yeah. Man, I love handouts like this. Okay. So for chat, we're currently looking at some old newspaper clippings, it looks like. Um, a newspaper titled The Old Post, illustrated weekly newspaper. It is a copy from Wednesday, April 24th, 1915. Uh, let's see. And the title for this main page that I'm looking at is Disaster at Mine. Disaster at Timber Mine, 10 lives lost. Last night at the northern mine at Timber, Kentucky saw its worst disaster in years. 10 lives were lost out of the 15 men that went in. Tremors were felt before disaster struck. The town is in mourning. Let's see. Another title reads Starry Night over the state of Kentucky. A surprise and delight of shooting stars covered the great state of Kentucky on April 22nd, 1915. One of the biggest show of the heavens this year. Another title reads The loss of timbermen is felt across the country as the call for unions grow. The loss of 10 men in Timber, Kentucky has increased the call for unions and safety measures in the mines. The workers are uniting in the call from Lexington's own governor has been put out across the state. We have our second page, titled Timber Remembered. Foreman passes, death toll rises to 10. Mining company moves in, and Timber mourns losses. Mark is supported by his father, Giannis, local doctor. Let's see, Mark is a bit more hesitant to go back, but might go in if there's an increase in wages. Thomas supports his brother, Garrett, who is grateful he is alive. Thomas has little to no plans on returning to the mines at this time. Harris, on the other hand, seems to support himself, lives alone, and finds the mines to be good work. He is, however, considering other lines of work, feeling a bit spooked by the whole ordeal. Let's see. Oh, I read the articles backwards. That's I was like, why is this on the side? Okay, I get it now. Those were the 4 survivors. So 4 survived the mine collapse. William, Mark, Thomas, and Harris survived the collapse. William has a mother and sister who are grateful of his survival. We know William. William has heard that he's going back once everything is opened up again to support them. Let's see, 10 men lose life in mines. The loss of life in timber is felt across the town as 10 men, now 11, lose their lives in mine collapse. Silas, the foreman of the mine, took a tumble in the forest after the mine disaster and is saved by his wife and local doctor. He has little to say on the disaster other than he is at a loss. Interesting. Okay. We have a last page titled Town of Timber has a long spring. An unusual long spring has settled into Timber. With strange spring in Timber, why not make use of the fine weather and get a jump on goods? There's a do and don't list under this. Do buy from Jenny Brown's Goods. Interesting. Do enjoy the weather while it lasts. Do take part in the growing prosperity of timber. Don't. Unions will take wages. No support. Don't. Look, a gift horse in the mouth. Okay. Don't see the 10 years of prosperity that is coming to timber. Interesting. And our last writing that we received is a strange poem. In the riot of spring's wild surge, we summon Pan with these words. Horned god, dance through the trees, summon the beasts, and command the bees. Sprouts and shoots, plants and vines, green magic energy now entwines. Play your pipes and celebrate, great Pan, we invoke you on this date. And written below that poem is Offering, bargain for beloved. So there's a lot to unpack there, folks.
Yeah, there is.
Now we got Pan in the mix.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was only a matter of time, I guess. I was more surprised, like, now I think we have more details on, like, people that, like, for sure died in this and are like, oh, we miraculously survived, having a fall in the woods. Oh, these people just happened to be here to help.
Yeah, that we had heard something about the doctor.
Hmm. Well, we've received all this information. Well, I guess not received. We more or less continued poking and managed to poke this out of where we just were.
That thing almost killed you.
I know.
Also, probably half the town heard that gunshot.
I'm really surprised that no one came around. Now that you mention it.
You don't think Jenny is gonna wake up and chase and see what made that noise?
That's my only fear about us leaving is it's still there and we don't know what it is going to do.
And also the question is, how did it get there? The door was locked. Coming through a window or something? It's pretty far back into the archives for it to be.
Yeah. Well, shit.
Quick question. Did you read this all aloud? Newspaper
Ooh.
clippings and everything?
Oh God.
It's like I don't know, just based on the reading from the Green Man and knowing like being specifically told, hey, don't say his name out loud. We give him a code name. I think like once like, I saw the word summon or whatever, I probably would have stopped. I probably would have been like, no, we're not gonna actually summon Pan. The rest of like the news clippings and stuff, probably.
Fair enough.
Now, if I hadn't been specifically told, hey, don't say the name of the Green Man and like, or say the Crossroads Man or something, it actually brings him,
Mhm.
she probably would have walked right into it.
No, I just wanted to know, see what
I
this
know, that's
You
dice.
gotta
totally fair.
ask.
That's totally
Yeah.
that's totally fair.
Yeah.
I, hmm. What it sounded like to me is that a lot of folks turn to something old because of the disaster in the mine. We now have there's now two things about summoning something. I still don't know what the hell that creature was in the that was looking for this. Sounds like we need a sleep and we go visit that mine.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best.
You can see that like Teresa almost winces when she says that.
Mm-hmm. I think I just need to voice this. I'm not entirely sure what I think of it yet. But do we think that whoever put that stop poking note, maybe I personally thought for, until this happened that it was in their interest, considering it was left with an apple. But do we think it was maybe in our interest so we don't run into things like that and worse happens?
The old boys network, they always frame it like this is for your own good. So I don't know. You can take it either.
Exactly.
You can take it either way. I have a really bad idea.
I love,
Um,
I love bad ideas.
yeah, but the last bad idea of this caliber ended up fucking the whole town. So I'm just gonna say this idea, and maybe you all can ruminate of what the good version of this idea is. We got these scissors of unbinding, and we've got one, maybe two gods who are bound for this town. Maybe we have a chance to cut something loose, but I don't want to make things worse.
Now, Mr. Applejack seems to be bound by some accord or some rules that means he has to harvest whoever made that deal. But I want to save her, but we probably only get one shot. And if we make the wrong call, who knows what'll happen.
There's also that. Do I remember right? There was something about the three fates.
Yeah, you would recall there
The
is
strange.
a strange perversion going on known as the Grey Ladies, making a mockery of the Kiliak, the mother, the crone, and the maiden, the three mockery of life within these, whatever they are. They're there, and it's more of they are there just to be there because they can. They're not a force of good by any means, from what you can gather.
But are there the chords of fate, which might be one of the mythology things that Dare actually has heard but doesn't know much about. Is it any relation to that, or am I just putting those two things together on my own?
I think you're putting those more together,
Okay.
but they would correlate with the three fates. Three gray women, the crone, mother, and maiden are also a three symbol of womanhood, of womanness, more or less. And yeah, these whatever these things are purposely making a mockery of it.
All right, well, Applejack said he wasn't going to kill anyone else tonight, or today, so we have, at least we won't, at least we have until morning. I don't know what time.
Do we think that, I mean, it doesn't have to be Mr. Applejack. It could be really any one of these things that apparently we can talk to. Do we think that we could maybe get them on our side before we potentially use these scissors? I mean, I feel like that's one hell of a bargaining chip.
have
no.
to set up some hedges against being hurt in that process.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'd have to take time, make sure we have our way out. I can hold things for just a moment, just enough for us to get away. But we don't want to go in half cocked.
Definitely not. Just the thought, we don't really have to think about that at the moment, but just we have something in our back pocket.
Fair.
Summoning gods, that's a little more than reading cards for folks.
Yeah, it is.
Here I was going to say it's just like making dough.
Can bring blessings or wrath. You don't know which.
Not even sure if there's one without the other.
That's what folks around here are learning, I guess.
Every deal has a cost.
So for now we rest and then try and head out first thing.
That's a
I
good
think
plan.
so. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try one more time to heal Dare. Is hindered.
Okay.
That 8 points of damage is rough. Much better. 19. So you regain 5 to your full.
Okay, so the last time that you didn't heal me for 2, you rolled a 2, and so I didn't heal any. Is that correct?
Correct.
Correct. Cool. All right, I'm back up to 7. Thank you.
Mhm. And I would say 30 minutes have passed, so you can gain additional healing to your pool. To completely recover, you would need that 8 hours to push you over that edge.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully by morning, unless I'm sleeping in some weird corner.
You disperse to your respective homes. Uneasy, settling momentum across the town. You can take your rest, take your 8 hours. Heal up if you need to for your points. Morning comes and it's a beautiful summer day. Isn't that perfect turn of time? And as this summer day kind of pushes in, bringing bird song and bees, there's a knock on your door, Dare. And there's a scream in the town. And you hear Dare. Dare, it's me, it's Jonas. Rapid knocks. Your dogs are barking. Can I come in?
I open the door.
You open the door and there's Jonas. Nasty cut across his brow, but he's alive. And he's there. And as you open that door, you hear that scream in town. And shouts and cries. And you see Jonas look over his shoulder and says, "So that offer that's still there? And come in your house?"
First, tell me your real name.
He kind of tilts his head. What do you mean? It's Jonas.
Lucas,
Ah,
don't bullshit a bullshitter.
fuck. I'm Lucas Jonas Brown. I'm not a union man. I am from Toledo, but I'm not a union man.
I think we've got a lot to talk about. Let me make sure that you've met everybody else.
Okay.
And I get dressed, pack up my things, and who's on the way to Teresa's? Or is if I want to gather people, who would be the closest, and how could I just sort of bring people on their way?
So quick rewind. Probably when everybody left, Teresa, Jasper would have grabbed your hand and asked, "Do you want me to stay here again tonight?"
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, then I would stay on your couch. So I'd already be
Okay.
there.
I would probably offer to walk Miss Beatrice home. Okay. So is Beatrice on the way to Teresa or vice versa?
I would be on the way to Teresa. Beatrice would probably be a bit more closer to town because the archives would have been
Uh-huh.
closer to town, in town. So you'd pick Beatrice easily up on the way to Teresa.
All right, let's do that.
Clover
And
and Cookie can come with you if you want.
Sure, let's do that. Walkies.
Yeah, little walkies.
So while we're heading to Beatrice's, I asked, you know what's going on in town?
Lucas, formerly known as Jonas, kind of nods his head. Yeah, one of the stakes got filled.
Damn. And it's probably the one we suspect, the sister.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't really say anything else. I wait till we gather everyone together. So, knock on Miss Beatrice's door.
Yeah, I'll answer the door.
Miss Beatrice, I believe you've met Lucas.
That I have.
Let's head to Miss Teresa's and get everybody on the same page.
Lucas follows you. He keeps pace with you and doesn't really say too much. Keeps his head down. You get to Teresa's home, and Lucas kind of pauses as he looks at the boundary line of your property, Teresa. Takes a careful step over it, and you see him pull lavender out of his pocket and place it at the boundary as if to replace something. And he keeps going towards the door.
One of the thing I tell Lucas as we walk is that, like, the original reason I offered for you to come to me, possibly to stay, is because McCavich was looking to blame somebody for the first murder, and he had eyes on putting together a mob to get you. Now we have a lot more to talk about, but that doesn't mean that that's not a concern. But I know, or at least I have a very strong suspicion that you were not involved in those deaths.
No. No, that would go against all my teaching, so that's not for me. That's very dark magic, well, taking lives is kind of struggles to explain it for a moment as your door is knocked upon, Teresa, and he kind of thinks for a moment. It spoils the soul if it's not already there.
Yeah. a good way of describing it.
Hmm. So your door's knocked upon, Teresa?
I imagine she has the front door open and the screen door shut.
Mm-hmm.
So you just hear from the back, "Come on in."
Lucas kind of hesitates, but opens the door carefully and lets you both in first before he steps in and kind of bows his head a bit.
Oh, good. You tracked down Jonas. We've been looking for you.
Oh, I'm a very popular man, it seems.
So it seems.
How'd you get the gash?
Well, I may have tangled with something called the wrongness, and it bit me.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Kind of places his hands together. Miss Teresa, Miss Jasper, Beatrice, Dare. I am Lucas, as some of you know. Um, I am from Toledo. I'm not a union man. And I work with the green. Short and long of it, I'm a witch. Surprise.
Yeah, but how do you feel about unions?
Yeah, all for it. I mean, 100%. He kind of waves his hand. I don't know. I had to do research like 10 minutes and get into this town. They seem great. Like, go for it. Yay! No more people dying in mines. Great. Frick. But that's not why I'm here.
No, you're here for the part that happened after that.
Yeah, I'm at that part.
Yeah, well, Mr. Brown, it seems like we all have a lot to talk about, don't we?
He kind of rolls his hand. You all know my name? He leans forward. Did you go through my fucking things? I mean, good on you, but what?
To be fair, we thought we were reading someone else's diary because we believed that you were Jonas, so it wasn't an invasion of privacy until it was.
Yeah, we didn't invade your privacy. We invaded a stranger's privacy.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to find you to figure out what happened in case something happened to you. But yes, we have violated your privacy.
I'm getting the sense you've done. Yeah, sure. He sits down, kind of pets Clover's and Cookie's head. Well, let's talk. And as he kind of leans forward to talk with you all, we'll end there for tonight. And thank you all very much for joining us tonight. There was a lot of information going out tonight. I'm really glad about that. A bit of combat, a bit of unease to put my players into. But as we head out, thank you once again. And we'll just kind of get to know each other as we leave. Alex, tell me who you are, what you do.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. I've been Alex. I publish and perform as Lex Wilson, which is a long story involving the Screen Actors Guild and Barney the Purple Dinosaur. You can follow me on social media, Alexotica on Twitter, lexwilson.bsky.social on Blue Sky, lexwilson.com for everything else. You can currently find me on another horror actual play, Being Scared There instead of here, with Lantern Light. This is Lantern Light Adventures. I'm with Girls Run These Worlds, playing Heart, the city beneath, on Saturdays. And also I was a part of the Pantsless Pride event from Pantsless Tables last weekend, raising money for Trans Lifeline and playing Oops, All Draculas, which played like an episode of What We Do in the Shadows. So please check these out. And more importantly, please give to Trans Lifeline. I'll put the URL in the chat, the what do you call it, check, because I don't think it's on YouTube yet. And finally, a comic book series I did with Tony Gregory and Claudia Aguirre called Starweed is about to wrap up. We're kickstarting the final issue. You can get the complete series later this year. You can sign up at starweed.com to be notified. The pitch is in a future where people smoke the remains of dead celebrities. These are the adventures of the people who heist the corpses. That's all.
Thank you very much, Alex. Mal.
Hey everybody, I'm Archangelic, aka Mal. You can find links for me on my website, archangelic.space. I run games here and play in this game on this channel. You can I'm also breaking into professional GMing. If you would like me to run a game for you, startplaying.games/GM/archangelic. We just want to remind folks we are going to go into our Patreon supported after show. So check that out on patreon.com/lanternlightadventures. The after show is always free, but we appreciate your support nonetheless. Also, you can find VODs for this show on our YouTube. It's linked in our channel. You can also find an audiocast version of this on anywhere you get podcasts. Just search up The Old Stories, The Breathing Mountain, or Lantern Light Adventures, wherever you get podcasts.
Thank you very much, Sir Heckalot.
Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot. I'm here, I'm on your screen, and you can find me all over the internet at Sir Heckalot, including Twitch, Itch, I guess Twitter as long as supplies last, Blue Sky, etc., etc., etc. Just find me is the best place to figure out where I'm going to be in the TTRPG space next, because I tend to wander a lot and wear a lot of hats, do a lot of things, and it's also incredibly hectic with my schedule at the moment with school, because I'm in my 4th year of vet school with clinical rotations and stuff, so it's not exactly the most consistent sometimes. But at least for the near future, you can find me over on Crits and Giggles RPG tomorrow for All Hail the Queen is a Tyranny of Dragons campaign that we're pretty far into at this point. We're like 15 or 16. Like we're pretty high level at this point. And it's only getting more chaotic as we get closer to fighting Tiamat. Then on Friday the 5th, you can see me for the return of Cold Hands, Warm Hearts. It's Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign, also pretty deep into that campaign. We were on hiatus for quite a bit, but we're returning to Neon Lights Roleplay. So we super appreciate your support if you can be there on Friday night. We start at 8:30 EST. It's a great time. I'm very excited to be back at that table because we've all been chomping at the bit to get back to it. On Mondays, every other Monday, you can catch me at Neon Lights again with Oathsworn, Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. It is a Greek myth style 5e campaign, and we're about to have some drama. There's going to be some drama next session. It's going to be a great time. And lastly, on Tuesday the 9th, and every other Tuesday, you can catch me on Enchanting Sorcery with Into the Old Margrave. It's an Into the Woods style 5e campaign where we just fought the big bad wolf, and we're seeing where to navigate after that, because lots of very chaotic things are happening in the woods as well. But yeah, no, that's me.
All right, last but not least, Soliloquy.
Hey friends, I am Soliloquy Jaden. You can find me everywhere online as Fat Sapphic Bro. I mostly hang out on TikTok and make a variety of random content. Feel free to come hang out with me. As for streaming, I said it all at the beginning, but I'm here on Twitch most Sundays, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m., most Mondays, 5 to 7 p.m., most Tuesdays, 6 to 9 p.m., and most Wednesdays, 2 to 5 p.m., all Pacific time. Thanks for hanging out with us.
And thank you once again, dear readers, listeners, viewers, what have you. I hope you enjoyed tonight's session and come back to us whenever you please. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.